Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Talking Through the Media, your home for entertainment news by fans, for fans. I am so sorry for being so late to the party, but you know, when you bet on black, sometimes you get what you get what you get. I'm your host, Chris Fagan, and joining me as always, wondering, it's going to be one of those kind of shows, is Sarah. Hey, how you doing?
Hey everybody, how are you? You gotta bet on red, just saying.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happens when you bet on black. You get what is known as what do we call it? I'm not gonna say it. It's CPT is what I won't tell you what it stands for. But it's just what happens sometimes. But you guys might notice a little change to the layout, and now you know why we're late. Chris's brain works in mysterious ways, and when I get like that itch is that the noggin starts the wheels start grinding and the creative juices start flowing, I can't stop until it's done. So,
but it looks good though. Look at all of that.
It looks nice. I mean, the zero people that are watching us live that were used to us starting an hour ago are probably like, I'll catch it tomorrow. But yeah, got the little.
They'll see it when they see it. It's okay.
Yeah, like let's go to camera 2 again and see how it looks. There you go. Let's just display the whole thing right there, and then come here, and then they're like, "Boo!" I'm like, "I'm sorry." But as you can see, guys, we got the new display wall here with all the things we're gonna talk about. And as we go through the topics, I'm gonna have Sarah just point to where we are right here the whole time while she's talking, like, "Hey, it's Lil Nas X," and "Hey, it's AMC," and that's what we're gonna do. So she's like, "Nope, not in my contract." But
hey, Vanna White got paid good money. I'm just saying.
But guys, we're gonna go over three. As always, let me break it down again. We got 3 entertainment news topics. We're gonna quickly go through. We're gonna talk about what's trending out there on the social medias and the internets and the interwebs. What's going on and making the internet blow up. We're gonna recap, or talk about some series or movies that we recently watched over the week, if any. If we have anything to talk about, and then we're gonna play a little roulette, and then move on to we got your mail. And I was about to say, why is that trending? It's gonna be we got your vote. It's gonna be a quick one, actually. So without further ado, guys, let me go into the first entertainment news topic, which is, if you can believe it or not, the rumor of Rhianna playing Poison Ivy. Is that even something you would even want to happen? This is something that was buzzing around on TikTok that I caught, and a gentleman was like, I would love this to happen. There was a lot of like artwork that was done to make Rhianna look like Poison Ivy. I put Harley Quinn next to her because I've talked about this as well, for a Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy movie to happen. But I never thought about Rhianna being being Poison Ivy. So I wanted to get your opinion on this. What would you think about a movie featuring Poison Ivy, played by the one and the only Rhianna?
So this is something I didn't know I needed, but now I need it. So that's where I feel like it is. I never thought of this. I never imagined this, but now, like, I can't see anybody else doing it. Like, I want this to happen, but she's a billionaire now. So, like, would she do it? I don't know.
I'm with you. Like,
I hope she does.
I'm like, would she? Would she not? I'm thinking, I don't know. I said that. I said, you know what? Look wise, I would be fine with it. I mean, yeah. She's beautiful. Her as Rhianna would be amazing to me. You know what? I just realized my hotkeys aren't working here. There we go. Highlighted it right there. Bam. There it goes.
I mean, Poison Ivy is sultry. She's sex appeal. She's everybody falls in love with her. That's her magic dust kind of deal. Yeah. So, I mean, Rhianna would
everything that Rihanna does in real life.
I know, she is that.
Right.
I mean, come on.
But now here's the reality. This is what I also said on TikTok to that gentleman that posted this. I wouldn't want it to happen because I don't pick my. I'm not a casting director. Far from it. Your movie would fail if I was. But in my opinion, especially the direction that the WB and the DCEU was going, they're getting quality actresses and actors to play these characters now. I mean, some of these people are Oscar winners, Oscar nominees and stuff. Rihanna is a beautiful woman. She's a great singer, and she's a better actor than I am. But based on her resume, like, I'm only judging from the one or two things that I think I've seen her in. What was that god awful movie, Battleship?
Yeah, she was in that. She didn't do half bad. She did well in that, I would say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know. I'm predispositioned to love her, so I just can't.
What do you remember from Battleship?
I remember her being in it.
Then her.
I don't know anybody else who was in there.
It was a horrible movie. I'm sorry, she was bad in it. But then someone brought up and said she was good in Ocean's, the new Ocean's movie, Ocean's 11.
She was good.
I haven't seen that. I said, you know what?
She was in it, and she was good, and she had quite a few lines.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give that because I told that person I'm sorry if I'm forgetting the TikToker's name. I said I forgot about that movie, and thank you for putting it back on my radar because I do want to check that movie out. So I will check that out. I doubt if it will change my mind, but
it's okay. I want this to happen now. I want this in my life. If nothing else, I will enjoy the fan art about her being Poison Ivy. That's just amazing.
I guess that's all we can ask for. But guys, let us know what you guys think about that. This is a 2-year-old conversation. I looked this up, and this was originally brought up in like 2019, back when she probably literally would have considered it. But now that she's a billionaire, she's probably like, no.
She's a billionaire mogul, so she's got all her companies and stuff. But now, like anybody, I want to go ahead and formally apologize via the internet to anybody who actually gets this role, because I will be in the back of my mind going, no matter how well you do, you are not Rihanna, and I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
Okay. Well, if you like it, I love it. Guys, let us know what you think about that idea. Put it in the advice below, and we'll talk about it more. Maybe we'll talk about it on We Got Your Mail, but let's move on to the next entertainment news topic. So, real quick, let's see how fast I can do these hotkeys over here, man. So Lil Nas X. Oh, that was pretty good, huh? I actually transitioned that pretty fast.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Lil Nas X was brought up in the world of entertainment news. This wasn't originally on the wall, but I caught it last minute. So it turns out that on Instagram, Lil Nas X made an announcement that after his latest album is released, and I think it already has released, that he was going to end his, what he called the gay era, and move back to the cowboy hip hop era that we remember him starting in. And then actor, comedian Michael Rappaport, I remember he made what was he in? I don't know if you remember. He's been on a lot of things. He's on a new Netflix series, Autopsy, or I forgot what it's. He was in a movie called Higher Learning. I don't know if you remember that old college movie. Tyra Banks, Ice Cube. They were in a predominantly black college, and he was in that movie. He was the bad guy. I don't know. Okay, Michael Rappaport. He's a comedian. So on Instagram, he says. He just says that both of those genres, cowboy hip hop, and the gay era that he's doing right now on in his music, he said both is in his opinion is bad. I don't have the actual quote, but from what I can tell, he wasn't attacking him for being gay. He was saying that he just didn't like the music, any of the music that he's done. He said because he's probably an old school hip hop guy, and he's comparing it to that, like most people do. But people in the community now it's a whole thing where he had to explain himself and he didn't apologize. He stood by it. He said, "Look, guys, I was saying that the music was bad. That's all I was saying." So But then that brought up another question to me, because the original statement was, when I'm done with this era, I'm going to move back and forth to this other era. What would your opinions be on that? It's like, because I was curious in what the LGBT community, how they would take that, and it seems to be they're still supporting them no matter what. Because I thought, would it be put in question? Are you just using that community to just promote sales, or you're gonna interchange this, or is it just like how Lady Gaga kind of changes styles, or like I didn't understand what it was until I did more research on it. And he is in the LGBT community. He is openly gay and everything, and I give him credit for it, because especially in the Black community, that's the stigmas on it is a thing. So being the first, or one of the largest or most popular openly gay rapper is a thing I never thought I'd see. I thought it would take time to see, and he's doing it. But I was just curious about that, the way he stated it. When I'm done with this era, I'm going to move to this era. Like, I was just curious on how do you think that would be been taken by just as a statement, and do you understand what
so
Michael was
like
saying?
So as an artist, I mean, he has every right to go, hey, I've gone through this phase with my music and now I'm going to go on to something else, or I'm going to try something new. And I think that's amazing and cool. And I can't speak for the
LBGT community.
LGBTQ plus community, as far as like where their support is or how they feel about it. But I think just overall, him as an artist wanting to do different things and try different things out, I think that's completely valid. But I mean, I don't know. I like his music. I've enjoyed both his pre, stripper pole days, and I've enjoyed the stripper pole music. That's actually a really good song. I like that song. I do spin class to that song, so I like it. Ooh. And yeah, it's fun. It gets you up and it's motivating. So, but yeah, I think that he's completely valid and right to be able to say, hey, I know some of you love this, some of you didn't, but guess what? I'm going on and moving on to something else now. So
yeah. Exactly. Cool. You're right. And he's right. And he has the right to do what he wants. I was one of the people that I had to do more research on it before I really tried to dive deep into this subject matter, because I didn't know whether or not how it would be taken, and I didn't know whether or not, okay, what did he mean by I'm changing from this era to the other? Was him coming out real, or is he really gay, or is he bi, or I didn't know any of these.
I think you're leaning too hard into it.
I did.
If he's coming out talking about his music, that's
he already did. He already did come out. But you're right. I leaned into mentally. I leaned into it too hard.
That's his personal life. Yeah, that feeds into his music and his professional life. But also, that wouldn't be my assumption that he'd be talking about, his sexuality as in something's changing there. But if he is, then, good for him.
Well,
Find your soul.
I was afraid that what he was actually saying, or what he could, if I didn't know that he is gay. He did come out, as gay. I was wondering if he meant something like he's actually straight, but he was doing this era of music to help promote the LGBT community, or was he really gay? Because I was like, if that's the case, then there was going to be a lot of pushback, because it's not something that you can just pretend. And then I did the research, and I'm like, oh, Chris, you're overthinking it. He really is. Now I get what he's saying. I was afraid for him, because I'm like, dude, if you're saying that you're just, because the whole I had a conversation with a friend of mine about it. And he said no, there wouldn't be any pushback on a person who isn't gay, and I said yes, there would be, and we had a whole I explained to him why, because it's not a choice. It's not something I didn't choose to be straight. I am straight. Gay people don't choose to be. They are gay. And so if there was ever a person that was giving that image of I am now and I am not this day and I am that, there would be pushback onto that, because it would cause a whole. But again, like I said, I was overthinking it. And I'm like, okay, I understand what he's saying. Because he is gay, and he was just talking about what you just said, just the music, what he's going to focus on. But my other question is, but why go back to something we've already seen? You've done the cowboy thing, you've done what you're doing now in this era. Why not something different? Why go back? That's my question.
Maybe his heart lies there. You don't know.
You think that's the core? Like, that's what I really love.
Well, maybe he wasn't finished with it yet. He just had this, turn this way and decided to come back to something that he's passionate about. So he did his experiment with all of, that recent stuff. And now he's coming back to something he knows and he loves. So I don't know.
That's a good point.
That's a good question for him.
Exactly. That's a good question. Yeah. Why, Mr. X? Why are you going back to God? You've already dominated. You know why? I'll answer the question why. Because he got ripped. He got ripped off from the country music Billboard for them saying that his song wasn't quote unquote country enough. And when most country music today sounds like hip hop now. So I just thought that was a BS thing that they did to him.
Like Florida Georgia line. Like, what is that?
Right. Exactly. Like it's all hip hop influence nowadays. Yeah. Hey, what's going on? Craig the Tech Guy's watching us. How you doing? What's going on, buddy? But let us know what you guys think about that the whole thing with Lil Nas X, and maybe we'll talk about it some more on We Got Your Mail. So let's quickly move on to the next final entertainment news topic, and that would be AMC. AMC, the lockdown is unlikely, is what they were saying. I'm sorry, I'm going back. I got to go back to my show notes because I forgot to have them up. So AMC, as I stall, AMC Entertainment CEO Adam Aron sees two things protecting the circus in the face of surging COVID cases triggered by the Delta variant: its own safe and clean protocols and vaccinations. He says, to our knowledge, there has not been a single transmission of COVID by an AMC guest over the past year, he said. Most scientific experts tell you the virus will increase in the winter compared to the summer, but the big change between this winter and last winter is vaccination. That comes to us from Deadline. So what do you think? What do you think, Sarah? Do you think he's right about this? Do you think that nothing to worry about here, nothing to see here?
Well, I think it's far too complicated for us to be able to answer that question right now. And I am not a doctor. I did get the vaccine because, you never know. We do know the vaccine does cover us from particular strains, but as far as the new variations popping up, we're not sure. But I do think in like 50 years, we'll definitely have a better idea of what was actually a good idea and what wasn't. Right. I think it's great that there's no known contractions of the Delta variant or any of the coronavirus, within his patrons and workers at AMC. But I mean, you never know. Like, how would you know if nobody reported it to you? And how do you know where you get it?
Oh, I mean, I guess that's what he's standing by. If there's no reports, if there was no reports, you can't say it came from us. But because people do, they try to trace it and track it back. But like you said, if there's no reports, then I guess he has the ability to make the claim until I guess it's proven otherwise. But no,
it would be hard. It would be hard to isolate that. Like if 100 people, like a movie theater, people are coming in and coming out, and you got hundreds and thousands of people possibly in an evening. So that would be very difficult to isolate.
But he is right there. A lot of the AMC buildings have stepped up. They've changed their like the ventilation systems. They've established very strict cleaning protocols and stuff that I've witnessed myself, and especially in the newer buildings. They've shut down the larger AMC theaters, the AMC 30s. and higher for the most part, but they've kept the smaller ones. So they're making moves to risk management and to and safety protocols.
Well, they're doing all that they can.
Yeah, and
like that still doesn't. Yeah, and that still doesn't protect you from the guy sitting next to you who's got it. It'll just protect the group who's next, hopefully, if they clean properly.
Because you are allowed to to lower your mask and to eat. I mean, that's when you're
even on airplanes. They say you have to wear your mask all the time, but they give you coffee and tea. Everybody's got their mask off to eat and drink.
You have to.
So if somebody's got it, they're swirling it around in there. So.
But I agree with him. I think added with the provisions that they put in for cleaning and safety on top of the vaccine. Yeah, I agree. I was very close to reinstating my AMC A-list pass, but when this whole Delta stuff started coming up, I was like, let me wait. So I might have to wait a couple more months until I go back into A-list. But I love my A-list. I miss AMC and I miss going to the theaters. But let us know what you guys think about that. Are you worried about the movie theaters? You're like, no, he's right. You know what? I'm vaxxed, or even if you're not, I'm still gonna go because of the great cleaning protocol. So it's fine. I love the theaters. Go see Suicide Squad in theaters right now. Don't cheap out like I did on HBO Max. So moving on to why is that trending on TikTok? This is something that I've been meaning to talk about for a minute. You might have seen the thumbnail. You're wondering yourself, Aunt Karen versus Eileen. Is it Eileen Cure? So long story short, now I would have had the graphic and the whole video displaying kind of a thing, but because I ran out of time and because I was trying to make this whole wall thing stuff happen, I kind of messed all that up. So on TikTok, an activist named her TikTok page is called AuntKaren and the number 0. She has a segment on her page where she calls out the races of the day in her opinion. Whenever she gets wind of, or if she's sent videos of people who are being blatantly racist, she calls it out on her page. And she told me that she didn't expect this story to go as viral as it did, because she's done a lot of these stories. She's been covered on the news a couple times, more than a little bit, and she's had some great success. She's now at 1 million followers on TikTok. But there was something about this story that it just caught fire. And if you don't know, this young lady named Eileen Cure, she sends an email to her staff after interviewing a black person for a job that was available at her financial company. I forgot, is it LCP or LP? I forgot the name of the company. But you can Google it. It's all over the place. And she specifically tells him, she says, I specifically said that she did not want to interview anyone black at her company. And she also wanted to clarify that it wasn't that because she was racist or anything. She says she's not. She's far from it. She was just looking out for her clientele, who just happened to be 90% or higher white, and she knows that she has to cater to them, that they would prefer an all-white staff. So it's pretty much saying, my hands are tied. I'm not allowed to hire black people. So interviewing this black person for this position was a complete waste of time. And she was so kind enough to put it in an email and Skype this or whatever to her staff. Well, unlucky for her, her staff screenshot that email and sent it to the internet. Aunt Karen on her TikTok page covered it, and it went viral. It blew up, and she's been interviewed multiple times on it. And the sad thing about it is, what happened later was that she was threatened by the husband of Eileen Cure, and who threatened violence on her. So Aunt Karen had to take precautions, for her own safety and things like that. So it was a mess. It was a big mess. So I I'm just want to. So you said you've never heard of Aunt Karen's page before or anything like that. She has a funny segment.
I don't know anything about this actually.
She has a not a funny segment, but she has a saying on her page. The devil works hard, but we work harder. And she's doing the work of just pointing out or calling out people who are blatantly racist. She's covered a lot of stories. And but for some reason, this is the one that's caught a lot of attention. It just went totally viral, and it's been ongoing. I mean, even to this day, this is like maybe a week or so ago, and every day there was something new added to the story. Like the Eileen's company was hit hard with reviews calling her out for her blatant racism on her email. What else? She sent another email out telling, demanding loyalty from her employees. And if they quit or get fired, that she will not give a reference to their new employee if they are found out to be unloyal to her. All the way to her company finally getting shut down after an investigation was done because of all these, and all the way to her husband threatening Aunt Karen for doing what I'm doing right now, just reporting on it. Aunt Karen wasn't the one who created this problem for Eileen Cure. She covered the story. So for her husband to make that threat was ridiculous, and it's totally out of line. Like I know you said you don't know much about it. If you go on TikTok, you type in AuntKaren0, you see her page. A lovely woman. I've talked to her a lot of times. She's very pleasant a person. She doesn't deserve to be threatened because she covered the story. She wasn't the only person who covered this story. So it's just sad that when people who do what Miss Cure did, and they get called out for it because accountability is a thing now, that people decide to double down versus coming to terms with their own actions and their own faults. So that was basically it, what's going on out there in the world and what's trending out there. So I basically just want to just put that out there. Based on everything that I said, I know you said you don't know much about it, but based on the little hearsay that I've given you, what's your thoughts on how I laid it all out there?
Well, I think it's awful. Like, obviously, this woman and her business, and then acting that way towards her employees. Like, your employees aren't loyal to you. They're loyal to you as long as they work for you, but their loyalty is only up to the job that they do for you. Right. They're not going to tattoo your name on their back and, that kind of thing. So loyalty is only as much as the position is. Right. And then they're going to leave. Employees don't stay with companies forever. Like, they're not family. They're not tied to you in any way. They're going to leave after a few years. That's just how employees work. But to have her husband threaten her, like, that's insane. Like, I would be that's just insane, because I'm going to threaten you over something my wife did that was wrong and that was idiotic. And then I'm going to threaten you in a way that you can now share with everybody else too. Like, hey, this family, not only did they do this, but now her husband's after me and threatening me. Right. I think that's inexcusable behavior. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I guess learning the lesson isn't a habit in the Cure house, because after seeing what his wife went through, and then I understand standing by your spouse or stand by your man, stand by your wife and all that. I understand that, but to do the exact same thing pretty much publicly and put yourself out there, and like I said before, it's that mentality of, how dare you call me out? Like, I know that I'm it's like, I know that I know who I am, I know what I am, and for you not to it's like when a sexist person says, "Oh, you don't get it because you're a woman." No, dude, you're just being a sexist jerk and a dumbass right now. So it's
it's those people that, like, I don't know them, Eileen Cure or her husband. Obviously, I don't know anything about this story, but it's the kind of people that they don't care if they're right or wrong. They're just
Right.
going to fight you any way around it. And their hope and belief is if they're big enough, scary enough, and yell at you enough, that you're just going to give. That you're just going to give. And there's too many people like that out in the world that believe that they'll just be right if they're the loudest. And it's sad.
I know I'm right because I'm screaming. So
yeah, it's sad. It's about getting their way. It's about being spoiled.
Yeah. Well, well, ironically, the next name is Cure, so they got their medicine this time. They got their just desserts. Guys, let us know. Let us know what you think about this whole thing. It's a mess. So I want to move on from this and get into we might not have too much to talk about on this subject. Any new movies, any new TV shows, anything that you've seen this week that you got excited about? I mean, we could talk Suicide Squad if you want to do an open spoilers on that and give your thoughts on that, or anything else.
Sure. I mean, that'll be a short one. I didn't like it.
You didn't like it? What did you like? Did you like the original?
I didn't like. I did like the original, and I liked the way that they did that. Cinematically, it had no cohesive theme. It was just all very bright, and then he'd shoot it different ways. And to me, like, he'd shoot it the kind of guerrilla style, and then he'd shoot it the wide band where it's more cinematic and more focused on, the foliage and the scenery and all of that. But this movie didn't need any of that. Like, I don't care that they're on a beautiful jungle island with beautiful little toucans and all that stuff. I don't care about that. We're talking about people murdering each other. This is an action movie. Don't give me those wide shots unless the whole world's blowing up in it. Why is that happening? But it was confusing in that way because it kept changing the theme of format? Well, it's how it's shot. So the guerrilla style is like, you think Rambo, it's kind of down and dirty, in your face, you're in the action, kind of thing like that. And so you think of the movie like Pocahontas, where they do a lot of scenic shots, like very wide, we're doing a Renaissance painting. So this is everything, and there's not a lot happening. There's only stuff happening in one part. And it just didn't make a lot of sense to me as the viewer, because it just kept changing modes. But the lighting was always very, very bright. In the first one, also, if you look at Birds of Prey, it had darker moments. It was creating a mood, creating, the cohesive thing for the whole movie. But this one bucked around, and it didn't give me a mood. It didn't feed into the way it was shot. Didn't feed into what was happening in the movie, which I didn't like.
That's the first time I've ever heard that explanation on it. I never thought about it, but then again, I for everything that you said is what I loved about it. But that's the subjectivity of movies. Yeah, exactly. So that I loved it. I loved it more than the format. I felt like, and I mentioned this before, this was if you think about it, the bones of the foundation was a carbon copy of the original one. It starts, the mission is laid out. You start off with your original target, like in the original one's the Joker. And this one, it was the like you said, the army of this on this island. And then it turns into the supernatural. It was pretty much beat for beat the same steps that they did, the same foundation from the first movie.
Did not expect anything new to come out of this movie. I expected it to be kind of like the old one. Yeah, but with maybe some new characters. I was disappointed on the right off the bat. They killed some really good actors. But
that was the ballsy thing.
But why kill good actors? Get some not so great actors.
Because like you can always get some more.
They killed him. I'm fine with Pete Davidson dying, but they killed some really great actors that I was disappointed about.
Yeah, because now you have room to get more good actors in there. You've already had them in both movies. They're not. I mean, no actors.
There was good villains that were introduced in this one that just. They were thrown out for the sharks. Yeah. The shark character, Sylvester Stallone, like if you would have never told me Sylvester Stallone was in this movie, I wouldn't have had any idea. But they just tried to Groot the shark, King Shark.
Yeah, he was
Sylvester
definitely
Stallone.
the group. You could definitely tell that this was directed by James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
They, instead of making King Shark intelligent, but there's been both.
King Shark was never smart, like in the comics and stuff. He's a brute.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
And he's smart. He's intelligent in the Harley Quinn cartoon. And so but in the movie they decided to make him the brute, the brute
comical,
the brute Groot, who actually has a heart of gold. Hey, I didn't expect. No, he did both. He took our great actors who. But let's be honest. They were playing characters who were never ever going to become like lead. You were never going to get a Captain Boomerang movie. So,
no.
But it was
always some of them were like, didn't matter. But I mean, the only things that I really liked about the whole movie, because they're the only characters that were actually developed through the whole movie out of everybody, even reoccurring characters, you still have to add some development to them, and they really didn't do that for Harley Quinn. I liked Idris Elba, and then the Rat King 2,
Ratcatcher 2.
Ratcatcher 2.
Rat King was from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, those are the only two that they actually took time to build those characters.
I would say,
so it was Bloodsport, and then
who did you like better? Would you like Deadshot or Bloodsport? Moving forward, would you rather Will Smith, or would for part 3 would you like to see Bloodsport meet Deadshot?
I mean, that could be interesting, but again, like something in DC, as you could see in this movie, they recycle a lot of characters and they just rename them. So the Patriot or whatever his name was,
Peacemaker,
John Cena, Peacemaker, was basically Bloodsport.
They both had the exact same background,
but just basically the same thing, except they both fixated on different things.
Yeah,
it's like,
I think she needed Bloodsport because he was a leader, and she needed Peacemaker because he was more controllable, and that's why that's why she kept him on. That first group were just decoys. That's exactly what Amanda Waller did. She did that on purpose. She was expecting she was trying to get rid of Harley Quinn, Flag, all of them. They were just expendable decoys the
Suicide Squad in themselves are expendable. If you've seen, there's the 1939 movie, and then all the comics and stuff. They're basically just,
expendable people who, if they happen to succeed in the mission, we'll give you what we promised to give you. But if you don't, we're not going to cry. Yeah, exactly. So,
but guess what? You're going back to jail.
Exactly. Well, you have a lesser sentence, 10 years shaved off your life sentence, probably,
or die,
or die. So I'm sure. I wouldn't be surprised if something like that actually is happening. But I'd have to say between both movies, Ratcatcher 2 was the most lovable and endearing character, and
she was. And the little rat I can't remember what his name was. He had the little vest on. He's the cutest.
If I was to rank, she's gonna be in my the most lovable DCEU characters. She's gonna be in my top 5 probably because I feel like that actress and the way she did it, she crushed it. The whole I'm so sleepy and I don't want to get up. God, that killed me. That crushed. Now watch. If she's she's gonna be in part 3 and she's gonna be one of the first to go because we love her so much. Watch. She's not gonna make it.
Something else about this movie, and if you watch the first one, they at the end they rounded him up, put him back in jail, right? Right. Because that's the purpose of the Suicide Squad. Correct?
You just get 10 years shaved.
But they got at the end of the first movie, fans got so upset. People watching it got so upset because they didn't understand, what the Suicide Squad is.
They didn't understand what was explained in the beginning of the movie.
They didn't want to accept it. That's why at the end of this one, they got free. They were able to blackmail him and get out because of how much crap everybody threw at the first one because they didn't get free at the end. But then they wouldn't be in the Suicide Squad anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you wouldn't have gotten a second movie.
and we're gonna get a spinoff series with Peacemaker. I love that whole thing where the punishment for the people who hit Amanda Waller and knocked her out.
You mean Bloodsport? Because Peacemaker is toast.
No, Did you not watch the end credit?
No, I did not.
There you go. There's about to be there's a Peacemaker TV series coming out.
Oh,
yeah, Peacemaker survived, and the guy, the people who were a part of knocking Amanda Waller out, they're assigned to him. He blatantly said, the funny guy, he blatantly said it. He said, I know this is a punishment from Amanda Waller for us betraying her by assigning us to this psychopath. So yeah, there's a Peacemaker TV series coming to HBO Max. So yeah, look out for that. I mean, hey, that's what I loved about this one, because they are expanding, and I look forward to seeing what they're gonna do with that show. And I loved Ratcatcher 2, and I felt more for even the ones who died. I felt more for these than I did. When I liked the first one, but I didn't care after it was over. After it ended, I was like, okay, that was interesting. But this one, right now, I'm still talking about it. I can't wait to see what Peacemaker's about to do. I want to see more Bloodsport. I want to see Ratcatcher 2 come back. I'm wondering why Superman was mentioned in both movies and the way they were. She was like, Amanda Waller mentioned Superman in part 1, and she mentioned him for no reason in part 2. It was, oh, Bloodspot made a kryptonite bullet and killed Superman. I think that's a thing. Why does Superman keep getting mentioned in these movies?
Well, it's because he's DC's Superman. Like, he is the Superman of this universe. Yeah. So why wouldn't he get mentioned? It's just like Miss Marvel or Iron Man not getting mentioned in an MCU stuff. So.
But why? But Warner Brothers needs to stop disrespecting Henry Cavill. If you're gonna invoke the man's name, put him on the damn screen. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know if he'll come back as Superman.
Well, rumor has it that James Gunn told Warner Brothers that the original script was going to be, the Suicide Squad versus Superman. That was his original idea. And maybe for part 3, if he still does it. But that was the original script. He thought it was funny as hell that these little nobody bad guys think that they could take on Superman. And that was the whole reason why they brought up the whole kryptonite bullet thing, is because they make him the target. But it would answer a lot of questions. I would love to see that. Would you have liked to have seen that instead of what you got?
I don't know.
You never know. Yeah, you're kind of right. We won't know unless we've seen it. All right, let us know what you guys think about that. We went a little long on the whole movie thing. I don't know. Any TV shows that you've seen this week that that make you go, yeah, that was cool? No. Nothing really. I'm watching Luthor. I just binged watched Luthor. I caught up to it. Idris Elba again. I caught up to that.
Oh, Luther.
Luther. What did I say? Luthor?
Yeah.
I'm all.
Yeah.
That's how they pronounce it.
Luther is great.
I was against watching that for the longest, and I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I love everything about it, so I'm all caught up. Watched all 5 seasons of it. Very easy to binge watch this show. Check it out. I now understand why people were asking for a crossover between, if you watch Netflix's series Marcella, that actress, to cross over with Luthor. I watched Marcella. I tweeted out, hey, did you know that they want you to do a spinoff with Idris Elba? And that actress responded back to me. She said directly to me, I would love that. And now I get why, because a face-off between those two characters would be amazing. Have you ever watched Marcella on Netflix?
Yeah, I have. And she's actually a wonderful actress.
I love her. So she said herself, I would love to do I'm sure it's not hard to convince any person to want to work with Idris Elba. But it was interesting that she tweeted me back. So yeah, be jealous, guys.
That's very cool.
I got a direct tweet from Marcella. But I'm looking forward to what they do with Luthor in the future. I'm all caught up. Can't wait to see it. Unfortunately, we have to wait till 2023 for season 6. So look out for Luthor season 6 in a couple years. So yeah, that's it. I guess there was nothing else really to recap for that. So let's really quickly, really fast get into a little bit of the roulette, if you will. So what did we have for I guess I gotta spin the wheel. So guys, what we're gonna do for red versus black, we're gonna do this again. We're gonna try. I'm talking fast because we gotta do this real fast because I've been holding Sarah up for a long time. So we're back here with red versus black. Always bet on black. Now, what we are doing is what Sarah's idea was. Fact or cap. This is fact or cap. There's a couple other things that's sprinkled inside the wheel. The people that were live that were watching, I wish you'd have stuck around, but just some of you guys dipped out. But in the future, we're still gonna go play it forward with it, and in the future, I want you guys to. I'm sorry I was late. I'm sorry. All right, let me spin the damn wheel. I'm not gonna put the graphic up because I forgot to do that while you were talking. So you're just gonna hear the wheel sound, spinning, and the background. You're just gonna have to take my word for it for what number it lands on, and. Black 31. What was that? That's on you to tell me. What was 31?
Okay, that says truth or drink. Am I supposed to ask you a truth question?
You know what? I forgot to tell you. We're playing truth or drink in here also. So
I did not know that.
I don't even have a drink on me, so let's just call it truth. So yeah. Truth. Ask me anything you want to ask. What do you want to throw in there? What do you want to ask?
Well, I wasn't prepared to ask any questions.
Well, prepare yourself. Like I always say at the top of the show, prepare yourself at all time. You got to be prepared. And I have to answer because I have nothing to drink.
What celebrity do you just not like? Like you hate them? Like you just can't stand them and just. And you don't have to know why. They don't have to be a horrible person, but you just can't stand to watch them in any show.
Oh God, that's a good one. I'm gonna have to think about that one. I'm not afraid to answer that one at all.
Mm-hmm.
And there is one, but my brain is like, if they're not in my, until they pop up into my face, and then I'll roll my eyes.
Well, you can just scream it out when it rolls up.
Yeah, when it finally rolls up, when I think about it, I'll love to answer that question. Who? 50 Cent. Okay. I like him I like his music. I like his acting and it's something. It's not his fault, like you just said. It wasn't his fault because he didn't do this to me. I worked overseas in Iraq, and I was in charge of. And 50 Cent said that he was going to do a layover and stop in the base that I worked at and entertain the troops. Mm-hmm. And I said we all got together. We set the stage up last minute. We got he got him on stage. He got what $100,000 I guess from the government for doing that one little stop. And this was back in 2005. And the whole time he just kept bitching about the heat. I'm like, dude, you got your shirt
in
off.
Iraq.
Yeah, you're in Iraq. What do you think was gonna happen? And you're saying this in front of all these soldiers who's wearing full DCU, in full battle rattle gear. Like, how do you think they feel? Like, dude, calm down. You're getting $100,000 for this for 5 minutes of work. Chill out. So but that wasn't the part. The part that pissed me off was when I was behind the stage. And his security guy just looked at me all as if I was some kind of fanboy. Like, don't try to bother, Mr. Cent when he comes over here on this side. I'm like, dude, I work here. Like, what the hell are you talking? It just pissed me off. And ever since then, it just irked me. Every time I see him, I just think about that. It's not 50's fault, but it just kind of pissed me off. I'm like, who the hell? Get better security, Mr. Cent. Anyway, so there's my truth. I had to speak my truth. All right. Spinning the wheel again. Can you hear the wheel spinning?
Nope.
I forgot to. Damn it, on me again. 28 black.
Okay. 28. Okay, this is a factor cap. The band Rush has more songs featured in video games than any other band.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one. I'm going to say fact. Even though I don't know who Rush is, they sound like. That sounds like that song.
You don't know who Rush is?
I don't know. I get a rush whenever I get excited about 50 Cent, but I don't know who Rush is. I'm gonna say fact. Is that song that's on the video games? That's Led Zeppelin. Who is that?
I am just in awe.
Was I right? Was it fact?
Right now. No, it is not. It's false.
Who's the number one?
Rush is a rock band, and they play so many songs. There's the Tom Sawyer. I'm
Have
looking.
they
I've
ever
got them all
been
right
featured?
on Limelight.
Have they ever been featured by Bone Thugs and Harmony?
No.
Okay, then I wouldn't know.
Okay.
Look,
They were in the 1970s and 80s. The old rock band. Okay.
yeah. Mick Jagger. Yeah, all right. Okay, let's spinning the wheel here.
Not Mick Jagger and Rush. Not the Rush though. But that time period. Okay.
What is it? That's why I always say bet on black, guys. 17 black. What the hell? It's like I'm telling you,
Okay,
you guys would have won a lot of money.
Hold on, let me prepare for this one. Okay, so here it is. 17 is the electric chair was invented by a dentist.
Dentist. I remember. Yeah, it's
True or false?
it's one of those weird ones because the lie detector was invented by the guy who created the Wonder Woman comic book. Bet you didn't know that. So it's probably one of those weird facts. I'm gonna say fact.
You are correct. In 1881, dentist Alfred P. Southwick witnessed a drunk man die quickly after touching a live electric generator. He soon realized that electricity could use to be a more humane alternative to hanging executions. So he invented the first electric chair in 1890.
Lost all of his patience after that day. Probably. He's like, what kind of a sick man? I know how to keep these kids still.
It's a dentist.
In
They're
this chair.
sadists. No, just kidding.
Exactly. I know how to keep these kids still while I'm pulling out this cat, working on this.
I hope my boyfriend's not watching. He's the dentist.
Uh-oh.
He's not a sadist.
Spin the wheel. 6 black. Jeez, what the hell?
I feel like it's rigged. I feel like you didn't pull any factor or cap or do all.
Oh no! Why? Now,
Okay.
and watch. Now that you say that, it's gonna go all the way to because I'm deleting them as we go.
Okay.
But
So
bet on
6
black.
black is Alfred Hitchcock. Do you know who that is?
I do.
Okay.
Good
He
evening.
He was frightened of eggs.
I remember you wrote that. Frightened of eggs.
Frightened of eggs.
And I want to say fact because I think I've heard that before. Is it?
Yeah, it's true. He
What
is
the hell
frightened
was
of
he-
eggs.
What was so
And
bad
in
about eggs?
1963, he was quoted saying, "I'm frightened of eggs, worse than frightened. They revolt me. The white round thing without any holes. And when you break it, inside there's a yellow thing, round, without any holes. Blood is jolly red, but egg yolk is yellow, revolting. I've never tasted it."
Okay, well no wonder he never won an Oscar for best directing. All right, 23 red. So there, in your face. Think
yay.
that thought I wasn't prepared. 23 red would be the most common Father's Day gift are socks. Fact or cap?
See, I would say a mug, but that sounds true. I could believe that. Like a coffee mug
But is it
with
socks?
socks. Sure. I could believe that.
You think that you are incorrect. The most common Father's Day gift is a tie.
Huh, I've never given my father a tie.
Have you ever given him a mug?
Yeah.
All right.
And socks.
Sweet.
Slippers mostly. I give him slippers every year.
I always just ask for peace and quiet. 16 red. Oh, here you go.
Here we go.
You're coming. Yeah, now it's your turn. The code in the Matrix comes from a sushi recipe. Fact or cap?
So the code, you're saying like the binary
I
code?
guess the binary code.
Okay. Geez, I don't know that.
Is it a sushi recipe that you're reading? How far in the rabbit hole?
I would say false, just because I have no idea. I want to be wrong.
It is a fact.
Okay. I'll just keep being wrong. It's okay.
All right, let's spin the wheel. Yeah.
What sushi is it?
I don't know. I'll
You don't know? Okay.
Unagi. Oh, who knows? All right, spin it again. 8 black.
Okay.
8 black.
So the fuller the fridge, the more energy efficient it is.
I remember that. I'm like, that makes sense. An empty fridge would have to, I think would.
So just to say to the audience, he has already seen all of my factor caps, but I didn't tell him which ones are true or false.
Right.
So maybe that's why he's doing so well.
I didn't Google it, but it makes sense. No, I was wrong once, wasn't I? Have I been wrong yet?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's because bet on black. I'm always correct. And guys, put it up. I'm telling you guys. If you're watching, let me go back. If you're watching, let us know if you think it's a factor or cap. The
fuller the fridge, the more energy efficient it is.
It makes sense because when the food gets cold, then it starts generating cold air, I guess. So it would make the fridge have to run less, I would think. But big old block of ice in there, doesn't it stop when it hits a certain temperature?
Isn't there more stuff in there? More stuff it has to keep cold?
That's true, because if it blocks the vent, the fuller the fridge, the more. I'm going to say true. Efficient. I'm going to say fact.
Okay, it is true. It works like this. The more empty space in the fridge, the more the cold air is displaced by warm when you open the door, requiring the appliance to generate cool air to replace it.
So I was right. That cool air stays in there because the cold coming from the meat in there, or the body that's
from the door opening. It's the door opening, warm air rushing in.
Yeah. And so all that cold air escaping when that sadist dentist opens the door. 30 red. 30. You can tell a tree's age by the number of branches.
No, that's false.
That is cap. You can tell a tree's age by killing it and counting the rings inside the stump. Yeah. How did you know it was false? Because
I know that. I think everybody knows that one. The rungs on a tree.
Not too many people. Come on. I mean, I could have been right. I thought I was going to stump you there. There you go. Boom. There you go. All right. Spinning the wheel. Oh, wait. I got to apply it before we accidentally get the same question again. And spinning. 3 red. I thought it was black. Okay. 3 red. 3. Sexual activities can cure migraines.
Just blanket sexual activities, or are you talking about other things?
Orgasms.
Okay. Sure. Endorphins and all of that. Yeah, I believe that. Cure migraine? Because migraine is technically a illness, like a long-term illness. So if you have migraines,
alleviate them. Alleviate.
So a migraine that you're currently having, not your long-term migraine issue. Okay. So yeah, sure. I believe that.
And you're right. Correct. There you go. All right, spin it again. Let me get rid of what number was that? 3?
Yes.
And all right, delete it. And apply so it doesn't come back. And spinning the wheel. 2 black.
Okay. You can buy a flying bicycle.
No, that's cap.
You think so?
They did invent the flying car, but you can't really buy it. I'm going to say a cap. You can't buy a flying bicycle. They don't exist.
British inventors John Frodin and Yannick Reed have come up with a bicycle that actually flies. The Explore Air XPLOREAIR Paravello PARAVELO, so you can go find it, is composed of a folding bicycle and lightweight trailer that contains a biofuel powered fan motor. The motor turns the fan, and with enough runway can reach up to 25 miles an hour and 4,000 feet in altitude.
I still don't buy it because I can't afford it. 36 red. 36 red. That would be real fast. Nothing there. That's a shout out. That's so I'm gonna spin it again. I lost my turn. So it's blank, so I lost my turn. Let me spin again. I left that one blank. And let me get rid of it. I would have been a shout out to, but I didn't think. And now, what double zero? What's double zero? Red, double zero. Sarah Reed's, we don't have time for it. Sarah Reed's latest social media comment. So I didn't prepare you for that, so can't do that one. Let's see. Going again. Red. Black Widow did not want to lift Thor's hammer because she knew she could.
No.
You're right. That was cap.
That wasn't even a little.
You didn't even hesitate. Do you remember why she didn't lift it?
No, she didn't want to.
She didn't even try. She was like, what did she say? That's not a question I need answered.
Yeah, it's a bunch of boys trying to lift a hammer.
Let your boys play with your hammer.
So we got, what do we have next? We got Jamil next.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's end it off with We Got Your Mail, guys. Because we're already hit the 1 hour mark and we went longer than we were supposed to, and people are sleepy. I know. And so that was red versus black once again, and I think I won that because I'm awesome. Because like I said, I always bet on black, but it wasn't fair.
Next time, I'm not going to give you mine, and we'll just go by the number.
Yeah, that's true. You should. Yeah, you should, because you don't
know.
Know if I
feel
like
I cheated. Competitive advantage right here.
Maybe I'm just awesome. I mean, we don't know. All right. So for we got your mail, guys. I only have a few things that came up real quick. So it's not even for We Got Your Mail. This is going to be for We Got Your Vote. And real fast. So I did a post for our last Reddit read. And that's what I forgot to put up there. The Reddit read. I have We Got Your Mail, but I forgot the slot for Reddit read. And I had a Reddit read, but I'll do that one later. I know you're running out of time. You don't have time for it. So, that's the question. What do you want to do? You want to do the Reddit read, or do you want me to knock out the We Got Your Vote?
Do the We Got Your Vote.
We Got Your Vote. Hey, your picture just came up on my TikTok. Oh, so okay. So the question that we have from the last Reddit read was about the woman who believed that her husband gave her cancer because, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. You read I don't want to have to read that whole story.
It's sad.
It was very, very sad. So I posted the question on TikTok. Did her husband cause her cancer? And 38% of you said yes. And 63 of you agreed with. I think we both agreed with this too. Like, no, it was sad what he did, and it was unfortunate. And it does, and depression does weaken the immune system. But you can't say that he caused her terminal illness. And 63 of you agreed with us on that. So, but it was a sad. I mean, he didn't. His actions didn't help. We put it like that. It was messed up what he did. And the final one. It's a quick one. Only two. I usually try to get rounded up to three, but only two this time. On my TikTok, the young man broke the story about for Scarlett Johansson, saying that Disney has officially. I should have made this a factor cap. That Disney officially has banned Scarlett Johansson from Disney and from any future MCU project or any other Disney movie because of the pending lawsuit.
Oh wow!
And this man broke this story on TikTok, and I responded back to him, and I put the question out there: will Disney ban Scarlett Johansson from the DCU or Disney films in general? And 35% of you said yes. 65% of you said no, believing me, because I also said no, because that's crazy.
I wouldn't put it past them, to be honest. They might not publicly ban her, but if they want to keep other actors and actresses from suing them over contract breaches, I mean, they're a huge conglomerate.
I mean, but banning people, I mean, that's.
They might not openly say we're banning her. Right. They might not, make T-shirts, but they may internally go, we're not considering her as an option for anything because of, the lawsuit. Because I agree. I wouldn't put it past them if they did it or not. But the only thing I think that's protecting her is the fact that the beloved and Feige we trust and keep Feige happy at all costs is also another unwritten rule there at Disney. This is the $20 billion man. And what Feige says is going to go. I mean, he's moved up in the ranks and he's earned Disney's trust, loyalty, respect. And they are definitely on the path of always keeping Feige happy. And I said it on TikTok. I said, we'll know exactly what Disney's going to do if Feige makes an announcement one way or the other. If he shows loyalty to Scarlett, Disney's going to back off. And if he shows loyalty to Disney, Scarlett's screwed. Johansson is screwed. But I think Disney is going to quickly and quietly settle this thing out of court, give Scarlett Johansson what she wants, and fight. And if even if Disney does want to ban her, what are they going to do? They're going to go to Kevin Feige and say you can't have her, and then. Well, her contract's done. I mean.
Oh, well, but if he wants to renew it, I mean.
But what would she come back as?
I mean, the multiverse of madness could bring her back. I mean, anything could bring her back. Honestly, I don't think so either. But if they decide,
she's not a constant. Her character is not a constant in the universe, so I think it would be highly unlikely. I haven't seen her. I don't expect to see her in the What If either.
Yeah, exactly. So. It's a like, for example, if she was one of these people who like messed her career up, maybe if she was being canceled for something that she actually did messed up, it would be easy to write her out. But the whole
point of her suing is because she is at a point in her career to where, they can't mess her up. She's Scarlett Johansson, for gosh darn it. Like you can't do anything to her. Like her contract's done, but I do agree that they'll settle.
Yeah, I mean, well, the reason that she has a more powerful hand is because people just look at her as just the actress. She was the producer, one of the producers, and she fulfilled her end of the contract agreement. She did the movie. She agreed that it was going to go to theaters, and she was going to get a certain percentage from theaters only. And she did the movie. She acted in it. She promoted it. She did everything on her end of the contract that she was supposed to do. Now it's up to Disney to fulfill their end.
It's a contract breach, and it was worth millions. So I don't care if she has millions already. Millions, even if you have millions, you
gotta stick to your word.
That's millions. Exactly. It's lots of money.
Yeah, millions. But yeah, that was it, guys. But yeah, that's another wrap up for the show. I appreciate you guys. Sorry that it ran. Sorry to my to the lovely Sarah for indulging me with my stupidity for wasting all this time trying to get the wall here perfect. I humble myself before you and I beg your forgiveness. Guys, if how do I get rid of this graphic right here? There we go. Guys, if you want to to follow us, always remember you can check out the podcast after the show is done. Go, check us out on iTunes, on SoundCloud, all those things, and let us know what you guys think at all time on social media. You can always follow us at T3 Medias on all the social medias, on all the interwebs, and let us know what you guys think. You can also follow me directly at Chris W. Fagan. That's on Twitter and on everything. And Sarah, if they want to find you online, where can the beautiful people out there do so?
I am Sarah Katherine the Red on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, all the fun things. So it's just Sarah Katherine the Red. There it is.
There you go. And as always, guys, until next time, I'm going to bid you guys good night and always bet on black.
Our supporters help make all this content possible, so make sure you check out our Patreon page so you can help us bring
I'm clocking out. I gotta get a little kid to bed. All right, bye.
on another level. Push the pedal to the freaking metal. I turned up just like heavy metal.